My heart raced as I was discovered, the weight of my secret crashing down like a tidal wave. The thrill of the forbidden lingered in the air, a bittersweet reminder of what could never be. I was lost in a world where love defied all boundaries, but now, the truth hung heavy between us, shattering the fragile illusion. A tale of longing and secret glances creak under the warm sun. I felt a shift in the air, unaware that everything was about to change in the most unexpected way. Name is Elena, and this is the tale of how a fleeting moment of curiosity led me down a path I never should have taken. Air was electric, tinged with the intoxicating scent of wildflowers and fresh grass, a reminder of the unspoken connection that lingered between them. I often wander these paths to find solace, but today, my heart skipped as I spotted a stunning chestnut horse, its grace captivating me from the nearby pasture. Its coat shimmered in the sunlight, pulling me closer to the fence, a magnetic force I couldn't resist. As I drew near, the horse raised its head, its gentle, knowing eyes locking onto mine, stirring something deep within me that felt both thrilling and wrong. Its gaze held a quiet allure, drawing me in despite the unspoken boundaries between us. In a moment of reckless abandon, I scaled the wooden fence, my shoes sinking into the soft earth, a thrill coursing through me as I crossed into the unknown. The horse stood still, its eyes meeting mine, a silent understanding passing between us, as if it knew the unspoken bond we shared in that fleeting moment. Instead, it lingered in silence, as if holding its breath for my arrival. I reached out my hand, captivated by the softness of its coat against my fingertips. Standing so near, I felt a rush of awe at its powerful presence, a connection that stirred something deep within me, both thrilling and unsettling. Yet beneath its strong exterior, there was a softness that wrapped around my heart, making me feel safe in a world that felt so wrong. As my fingers grazed its side, the horse leaned into my touch, a silent connection sparking between us, both thrilling and unspoken. Its ears drooped gently, and a soft snort escaped its lips, a quiet whisper of peace that tugged at my heart. Drawn in by its serene facade, I felt a rush of daring to delve deeper. As I stood beside the horse, I felt a quiet connection, one I never expected to form. As I approached the horse, I was in awe of its majestic stance, the way it moved with such grace. It may seem foolish in hindsight, but back then, I was blissfully unaware of the intricacies of horse anatomy. Curiosity pulled me in, and, before I could resist, I found myself. The texture took me by surprise, stirring something deep within me. It was gentler than I had imagined, yet there was an undeniable strength hidden just below the surface. As my fingers wandered, I felt a shift, a spark of something forbidden igniting between us. A rush of warmth surged within me, expanding and deepening, igniting a spark I knew I shouldn't feel. I was captivated. I'd never encountered anything so captivating, and a part of me felt drawn in, unable to turn away. It blossomed, far beyond anything I ever dared to dream. When it finally ceased, it felt like it had stretched on forever, a secret longing that lingered in the air. The horse whinnied softly, enjoying the momentary peace. In that fleeting moment, I was lost in a whirlwind of emotions, blinded by a desire I knew I shouldn't have. Now, as I reflect, I see the folly of my choices, but back then, my heart led me into uncharted territory, where reason faded away. I crouched low, my heart racing as I caught sight of something unexpected, a glimpse of the forbidden that stirred a mix of curiosity and thrill within me. They loomed above me, more imposing than I had imagined, their weight a tantalizing secret just out of reach. In a moment of reckless longing, my fingers brushed against theirs, igniting a spark that felt both thrilling and wrong. They ignited a warmth within me, a pulse of life that stirred something deep and unnameable. As I ventured deeper into the unknown, a rush of unexpected sensations washed over me, igniting a spark of something I couldn't quite name, something thrilling yet tinged with a hint of danger. It was a sight that stirred something deep within me, sticky and shiny, reminiscent of honey, yet it felt so wrong to want it. I felt a deep sense of peace in the presence of such a powerful, yet gentle creature, reminding me of my love for nature. In a fleeting moment of daring desire, I surrendered to the temptation. The taste was unexpectedly sweet, evoking memories of forbidden moments shared beneath the apple trees. In that fleeting moment, the thrill overshadowed the danger, and I lost myself in a whirlwind of emotions, oblivious to the risks that lay ahead. As I pressed on, an overwhelming rush of warmth spilled forth, igniting a spark of something dangerously beautiful. The weight of it all was overwhelming, and I felt my heart racing as I fought to accept the truth. Some of it slipped from my lips, mingling with the chaos beneath me. The moment felt charged, a mix of thrill and hesitation, as I found myself drawn deeper into the unexpected. My heart raced, caught between desire and the weight of what was right. In an unexpected moment, passion surged forth, leaving everything else behind. A wave of emotion washed over me as I thought about the choices I had made and the consequences they carried. A rush of emotions overwhelmed me, leaving me breathless with uncertainty. Amidst the turmoil, a thrill coursed through me, igniting a pleasure I now regret. I was lost in my thoughts, completely unaware of the figure drawing closer until it was too late to turn back. My heart raced as I glanced up, only to find Daniel, my husband, looming at the fence, a shadow of something I couldn't quite grasp. His expression twisted in a mix of disbelief and something darker, a silent battle raging within him. "Is that you, Elena? What are you doing here?" His voice trembled with a mix of disbelief and a simmering anger, as if the very air between them crackled with unspoken tension. Reality shattered, leaving me breathless and longing. I stumbled to my feet, heart racing as I frantically tried to erase the evidence of my clumsiness from my face and clothes. "Daniel, I can explain," I stammered, but deep down, I understood that no words could ever mend what was broken between us. Daniel's expression twisted, a mix of fury and heartache swirling within him. "Can you tell me more? How can you even begin to make sense of this?" His voice broke through the silence, raw and desperate. My heart races as I take in the scene before me, a mix of disbelief and longing swirling within. "How could you betray me like this?" A wave of nausea washed over me, twisting my insides with a mix of longing and despair. The realization of my actions crashed over me like a tidal wave, leaving me breathless and trembling. "Daniel, I realize now that I made a mistake, and I want to work towards rebuilding our trust. I can't believe I let myself feel this way." It was unexpected, a spark that ignited in the shadows. But Daniel's heart was elsewhere. He averted his gaze, the weight of unspoken feelings too heavy to bear. "I don't recognize you anymore," he whispered, his voice trembling with unspoken longing. This is unbearable. Being near you feels like a beautiful mistake I can't afford to make." With that, he turned and left, the distance between us growing unbearable in the quiet of the pasture. I fell to my knees, drowning in a tide of shame and regret. How could I have let this happen? How could I have shattered Daniel's trust so cruelly? I lingered in that moment, lost in a whirlwind of emotions, weeping until my eyes ran dry. The horse lingered close, unaware of the heartache and turmoil it had unwittingly stirred. As the sun dipped below the horizon, I gathered my strength and started the journey home, a heavy heart anticipating the inevitable. The days that followed were a whirlwind of heated exchanges, heart-wrenching sobs, and aching quiet moments. Daniel left, claiming he needed time to sort through the whirlwind of emotions that had engulfed us. I plunged into therapy, aching to uncover the reasons behind my reckless choices, vowing to never let it happen again. With each hesitant step, Daniel and I found ourselves drawn back together, the ache of our past lingering in the air. It was a struggle, filled with longing and unspoken desires. There were moments when I feared we were lost, when the pain and betrayal felt insurmountable. Yet we held on, navigating each moment with a fragile hope. I vowed, heart heavy, to both myself and Daniel that I would never cross that line again. I steered clear of farms and pastures, my heart racing at the sight of a horse in the distance. It lingered in the air, a bittersweet echo of my past, yet it fueled my desire to be different. As the days slipped by, I caught fleeting glimpses of hope. Daniel's heart began to thaw, yet the ache lingered in his gaze. We embarked on a journey of healing, navigating the tangled emotions that bind us. It was a struggle, filled with heartache, yet I was resolute in showing Daniel that I could be the partner he longed for. One night, 6 months after everything changed, Daniel's fingers intertwined with mine as we sat together on the couch, the air thick with unspoken words. "Elena," he whispered, his voice trembling with unspoken feelings, "I want you to know that I'm trying to forgive you. It's a struggle, and the pain lingers, yet I can't help but notice the effort you're putting in to become someone new. I believe we can find a way to make it work." Tears brimmed in my eyes, a bittersweet mix of hope and gratitude that felt almost wrong to embrace. "Thank you, Daniel," I breathed, my heart racing. "I swear I won't fail you this time." As I look back on this journey, my heart aches at the thought of how close I was to losing it all. In a fleeting moment of vulnerability, everything I held dear teetered on the edge of collapse. My heart ached with the weight of my choices, yet from the ashes of that turmoil, I unearthed profound truths about restraint, the necessity of open dialogue, and the healing grace of forgiveness. I understand that the path before us will be fraught with challenges. Daniel will forever linger in my heart, a bittersweet reminder of our past. I'll bear the burden of my choices, but I'm determined to embrace a new path, striving to become a better person, a better wife, even as shadows of what we shared haunt me. If there's one truth I hope others grasp from my tale, it's this. Even in the depths of longing, when the heart races with unspoken desires, remember the weight of choices that linger in the shadows. The fleeting excitement can never outweigh the heartache and scars it leaves behind for you and those dear to you. For me, the future is all that matters. Daniel and I are cautiously navigating the delicate threads of trust and intimacy, each moment charged with unspoken longing. We're whispering about the possibility of a family, a dream that felt so far away in the shadows of my past mistake. It's a reminder of our journey, igniting a flicker of hope for the secrets yet to unfold. I realize now that genuine joy isn't found in brief sparks of thrill or secret encounters. It springs from the intense, unspoken connections we share with those we desire. It stems from staying loyal to our hearts and beliefs, even when the allure of the forbidden whispers sweetly in our ears. Though the path ahead is still shrouded in uncertainty, my heart is set on finding solace and love, no matter the cost. Each day, I strive to become someone worthy of Daniel's forgiveness, yearning for a future where love, trust, and respect intertwine, even if it feels just out of reach. As I pen these words, a haunting quote echoes in my mind. The true beauty of life isn't in never stumbling, but in finding the strength to rise again, each time our hearts break. I fell deeply, yet here I am, rising once more, stronger and more aware than ever. And for that, even through the heartache and longing, I find a strange sense of gratitude. The road to mending trust is filled with twists and turns, each step heavy with unspoken feelings. As the days slipped by, Daniel and I found ourselves tangled in a web of longing and uncertainty, each moment heavy with unspoken words and fragile hope. The ache in his gaze pierced through me, a haunting echo of the choice I wished I could take back. One evening, after a particularly difficult therapy session, Daniel turned to me in the dim light of our living room, his expression heavy with unspoken words. "Elena," he whispered, his voice trembling with urgency, "I have to ask you something. Please be honest with me." My heart raced, a silent agreement hanging in the air. "Absolutely, Daniel, whatever you need." He inhaled sharply, the weight of unspoken words hanging in the air. "Have you ever felt something like this before? Or has it always been this way? What about other creatures?" The question pierced through me, leaving a raw ache in my chest. Hearing it spoken felt like a dagger to my heart, even though I had braced myself for the moment. "No, Daniel," I said, my voice steady as I locked eyes with him, the weight of unspoken feelings hanging between us. Not a moment like it, and never again. That day was a fleeting moment of passion, a mistake that haunts me, a secret I'll carry forever. Daniel's eyes locked onto mine, a silent plea for truth hanging in the air between us. At last, he gave a small, hesitant nod. "All right, I trust you." Those 3 words held a weight I could never fully convey, a fragile fissure in the wall of doubt that had silently built up between us. As we navigated the delicate threads of our connection, I couldn't help but dwell on the fateful moment that had drawn me into this tangled web of emotions. In therapy, we uncovered hidden truths, feelings of restlessness in our marriage, a yearning for something more thrilling that I had kept buried, and insecurities that had long been left unspoken. Facing these hidden pieces of myself was a struggle, yet I understood it was essential for us to find a way to move ahead together. Daniel was grappling with his own demons, the sting of inadequacy deepened by my choices, as he struggled to rebuild the fragile threads of trust after such a heart-wrenching betrayal. As the months slipped by, a subtle shift unfolded, barely noticeable at first, yet it stirred something deep within. The quiet moments we shared became a little lighter. We shared tentative laughter, a fragile sound that slowly blossomed into something more free, more alive. One night, as we stood side by side at the sink, a familiar routine turned bittersweet. Daniel playfully flicked soap suds in my direction, igniting a spark of the past we both longed for. It was just a fleeting moment, yet it carried the weight of 1,000 unspoken feelings. Yet, just when hope began to blossom, we stumbled upon another barrier. Daniel's brother was tying the knot, and the celebration was set against the backdrop of a secluded ranch, where unspoken feelings lingered in the air. The moment Daniel spoke, a rush of panic surged through me. I don't know if I can do this," I whispered, my hands trembling as I placed my coffee mug down, the weight of the moment pressing heavily on my heart. Daniel's expression shattered like glass. "Elena, it's my brother's wedding, and yet, my heart aches for you. We can't stay here any longer."
Yet.
"There could be horses there," I murmured, a flush of guilt warming my cheeks. Daniel's expression was a haunting blend of anguish and longing. "Do you honestly believe you can resist the pull of the horses now?" His words pierced my heart, a painful truth I couldn't escape. "It's not what you think, I swear. I just wanted to share my heart. I'm terrified of the way you'll react when you see me with them. I can't bear the thought of dragging you into this." Daniel fell silent, the weight of unspoken words hanging between them. His fingers brushed against mine, sending a shiver down my spine. "Elena, we can't keep running from this forever. We can't keep pretending it doesn't exist. Perhaps, just perhaps, this is the moment we've been waiting for." I nodded, my heart aching, tears brimming in my eyes. "You're right, but it feels so wrong. I have to leave. I swear, I'll never betray your trust." The day of the wedding dawned, and my heart raced with a mix of excitement and dread. As we drove to the ranch, the air between us crackled with unspoken feelings, a tension that felt both thrilling and dangerous. As we approached, the stables loomed ahead, and a wave of unease washed over me. Yet, as the hours slipped by, an unforeseen spark ignited between us. Being near the horses, watching them from afar, and listening to their soft neighs stirred something deep within me, an ache I couldn't quite name, a longing that felt both thrilling and wrong. Instead, it deepened my resolve for Daniel and the bond we share, even as shadows lingered around us. Every time I saw a horse, my heart ached with the memory of what I almost lost, igniting a fierce determination within me to never let that happen again. At the reception, Daniel's gaze flickered between me and the stables, a silent tension hanging in the air. As the sun dipped below the horizon, he grasped my hand, sending a thrill through my heart. "Come with me," he whispered, a hint of mischief in his eyes. With my heart racing, I couldn't help but chase after him. We moved quietly, the air thick with unspoken words, until we stood at the edge of the horse pasture, the fence a fragile barrier between us and everything we dared not say. A stunning bay horse grazed quietly, its presence stirring something deep within, a longing that felt both beautiful and wrong. Daniel turned to me, his gaze lingering on my face, a silent plea hanging in the air between us. "What stirs within you at this moment?" he whispered softly. I inhaled sharply, weighing my response with a flutter of uncertainty. With a heart full of unspoken words, I finally whispered my gratitude. "Thankful for you, for what we share, for this fleeting moment to mend our hearts. That horse, it captivates my heart, but I know I must keep my distance." That day was a moment I wish I could erase, a fleeting choice that haunts my heart. In this moment, with you, everything else fades away. This is all I desire, now and forever. Daniel's eyes shimmered with unshed tears as he drew me into a desperate embrace, holding on as if the world around us could shatter at any moment. We lingered in that moment, wrapped in each other's arms as the sun slipped away, casting shadows on our unspoken desires. That day changed everything for us, igniting a spark we never expected. It didn't erase the scars, but it was a step, a fragile promise in the shadows of what we had lost. Yet it felt like a leap into the unknown. In the months that followed, Daniel and I danced around our feelings, caught in a whirlwind of longing and secrecy. We dared to bare our souls, revealing our fears and insecurities, choosing vulnerability over silence, even when it felt like crossing an unspoken line. We began to dream of our future once more, a fragile hope rekindled after everything that had happened. One evening, as we sat on our back porch, the sky ablaze with colors, Daniel turned to me, his gaze intense and filled with unspoken words. "Elena," he whispered, his voice trembling with unspoken feelings. "I can't stop thinking about us." My heart races at the thought of new beginnings, a secret yearning that feels both thrilling and a little dangerous. My heart raced, caught in a moment that felt both thrilling and wrong. We once whispered about a future filled with laughter and tiny footsteps, but now, that dream feels like a distant echo, slipping through my fingers. "Do you really mean it?" I whispered, my heart racing with a fragile hope. Daniel nodded, a hint of a smile playing on his lips, as if he held a secret just for her. What transpired? It was devastating, a haunting echo that will forever linger in the shadows of our love. Yet this is only a fragment of what we share. My heart aches for you, Elena. My heart aches to imagine a future together, just the two of us, defying the odds. As I held him close, tears of joy slipped down my cheeks, a bittersweet reminder of what we could never fully embrace.